This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by Leonard Ellerbe of Mayweather Promotions. Leonard, how are you doing?
What's happening, boss man?
I'm all good. It's good to see you. You're looking in good spirits.
I'm feeling great. Great, huge event this Sunday night. You know what it is. And again, glad to be back on Boxing Social.
Well, I appreciate that, Leonard. I appreciate you giving up some time. You just said, it's an amazing event for everyone to look forward to on Saturday. It always is with Floyd. Does it ever get old, though? Does it ever get old seeing Floyd entertaining people the way that he does?
No. This is what he's born to do, and he's been born to showcase his skills to the entire world, which he's been doing for ever since 1996 professionally. And come Sunday night, I think you're going to see him in one of his most exciting events ever.
Now, obviously, there's a few things with the fight I just want to get your thoughts on, Leonard. Firstly, can you just explain to everybody the rules back in the UK if everyone's going to tune in? So I believe the gloves are now 10 ounce and not 12 ounce.
Yes. The exhibition bout will be contested in 10 ounce gloves. And, I'm really excited about that because, again, we just know that the event is going to be incredible.
The decision not to have any judges, Leonard, can you just explain to everybody the reason behind that?
Well, because it's an exhibition. It's an exhibition. It's not a real fight. But come Sunday night, when all the fans, especially Floyd's favorite fans in the UK, tune in, they gonna leave away from this thing and they gonna be like, man, we so glad that we bought this pay-per-view and got a chance to basically witness a historic event.
Leonard, Floyd was very coy earlier about a potential future fight, another return, whether it be an exhibition or something else. Do you think we could see him entertain the crowd once again beyond Logan Paul on Sunday?
Hey, anything is possible. Anything. His name is Money Mayweather for a reason. They call him Money May for a reason. And again, this is just about entertainment, giving the fans exactly what they want to see. And again, I want to thank the great UK fans for their continued support for the many years with all his historic pay-per-views that he's been involved with. They've been big supporters. I can recall from the very first Ricky Hatton fight, you guys have tuned in, and we're really appreciative. And again, be sure to tune in. This Sunday night, you're in for a great treat.
Leonard, on that note, do you think we could ever see Floyd entertain the UK audience if he was to re-enter the ring once again?
Well, he's not coming back to the professional ranks, meaning he's not going to unretire and come back and box, like real fighters. That's not happening, because you got to understand what this man has done. He's done the incredible thing. He came from poverty and he rose to being a billionaire, becoming his own boss. You know what I'm saying? In this sport, he's called all the shots, and he's laid the foundation and the blueprint for others to follow him. He's led by example. And with him being an African American, that is just, he has so many brothers and sisters and people just around the world who are so proud of him for what he's been able to do. And more importantly, he's able to go into a sport, dominate this sport his entire career, make $1 billion, and walk away from this sport with all his faculties and the bankroll. Oh, you got to give him his props for that.
100%, Leonard. With this fight, then, what should everybody be in store for on Sunday night? Is this one which will Floyd look to stop Logan? Will it go the full 8 rounds? What are your thoughts? What should everybody expect?
I guarantee you, this will be one of the most exciting events Floyd Mayweather has ever been in.
Whilst I got you, Leonard, just want to get your thoughts on a few other things. Recently had a bout announced between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao, former opponent of Floyd. Floyd recently shared the ring with Errol in sparring. Not recently, but previously rather. Just your thoughts on that bout?
It's a tremendous bout. It's a great bout for the purists. It's a great fight for the mainstream fans around the world who will be watching. It's a huge pay-per-view, and I'm really excited that it's taking place.
Who do you sway towards?
Errol Spence.
Another contender, I just want to get your thoughts. I say contender, someone who many consider to be the pound-for-pound star in boxing now, Saul Canelo Alvarez. He said openly that he feels that if he was to have fought Floyd Mayweather, this version of himself, he would overcome Floyd. Just your thoughts on that?
I really don't have a comment about Canelo Alvarez. He's a tremendous fighter. You know, he's accomplishing a lot in his career. He's beat a lot of good fighters, and he's having a great, successful career. Want to continue to wish him nothing but continued success. That's his opinion. Floyd whipped that ass back then, you know, and he beat him easy. That was one of Floyd Mayweather's easiest fights. So of course he's going to say those kind of things now, and you know, none of that even matters. He's made his entire country very proud of him. He's rose above everything, and he's done a phenomenal job with giving his Hispanic fans, Mexican fans, great fights. And again, I wish him nothing but continued success.
Just on Canelo, there's talk about him and Caleb Plant next for the undisputed title at 168. What are your thoughts if that one gets a green light and he goes ahead?
Caleb Plant gonna spank that ass too. That's my opinion. I know what Caleb can do. I know what Caleb can do, and just the entire world hadn't had the opportunity to see him do that. But again, if anybody think that's gonna be some easy work for Canelo, they don't know anything about boxing. I guarantee you that.
And final thing, just move on to Gervonta Davis. He's been spoken about very much over this past year or so with a stacked lightweight division. I know he's competing at super lightweight in his next bout, but Devin Haney was successful against this past weekend. Devin Haney was successful. What's your thoughts on his victory against Jorge Linares?
Honestly, to be totally honest, I did not watch the fight. My daughter had a basketball tournament, and that was my #1 priority. You know, family over everything. So I was at my daughter. My daughter had 4 games that day, and I was at her game, so I did not watch the Haney fight. I heard he had an excellent fight. He had some danger. I think they said in like the 10th or 11th round, but he has a heart of a champion, a great young fighter, and wish him nothing but the continued success in his career.
Devin spent some time around Floyd previously training together. Do you think we could ever see Devin and Tank in the ring?
Anything is possible. Tank is the biggest star out there amongst all of those guys, and he's one of the biggest stars in the entire sport. It's only 2 or 3 guys that are bigger attractions at this point in time than Tank and the entire sport. All those fighters are chasing Tank's success. You know, again, like for an example, I didn't watch the Haney fight, but I can guarantee you this, that as far as being an attraction, that I don't know how many fans they had there, but I guarantee you, Tank sold more tickets in that first hour than they probably had at that fight.
Right, Leonard, final word.
And it's no knock on Haney, because again, he's a tremendous fighter, but it's a process with this. Tank's just on another level as far as being an attraction, you know, that whole thing. And again, all these fighters are chasing Tank. Tank's the biggest name at 130, 135, and 140 right now.
Tank Josh Taylor then, what would be your thoughts? Do you think that one could happen?
Oh, Josh Taylor's a tremendous fighter. He's a tremendous fighter. I did watch the Ramirez fight, and props to Taylor and his entire team. He has some great coaches. He's a great fighter. On that particular fight, I was picking Ramirez. Yeah, I'm an honest guy. See, I don't like a lot of people. I'm honest. I was picking Ramirez. I thought that he just had a little more. I'm not saying Taylor surprised me, but he rose to the occasion and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. It was a very, very good win for him and all his fans from his country. He did a phenomenal job. So props to Josh Taylor.
Would you guys entertain the fight with Josh Taylor if it was proposed?
Listen, Tank's going to entertain the biggest fights possible in the entire sport, whatever they are.
Right, Leonard, final word. Just tell everybody back in the UK why they should tune in on Sunday night.
Tune in this Sunday night. Again, in the UK, it'll be on Sky Sports pay-per-view. It's a tremendous event from top to bottom. Again, we have Chad Ochocinco. He's going to open in the televised portion of our pay-per-view event. And then we're going to roll right into I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining and a very competitive 10-round bout with former unified champion Jarrett Hurd. He's going to be taking on Mayweather Promotions' own Luis Arias, and then Badou Jack. We're going to see him fight in the co-main event. Obviously, he was going to fight John Pascal, but we all know the disgusting things that he did. And then we're going to move it right on into the granddaddy of them all, and that's Money May taking on Logan Paul.
Leonard, I just want one final word on that Badou Jack John Pascal situation. What did you make of finding out about John Pascal's failed tests and the situation which has started to come up a lot more in boxing with people failing tests?
I'm disgusted by his actions. I'm disgusted by his actions because he intentionally done what he done. He intentionally. I'm not buying that bullshit excuse that he put out there. And me, I had a lot of respect for the guy. As a champion, the whole nine. I lost all respect for him, all complete, because what he did, he intentionally tried to put my fighter in harm's way, because you never know what happens in a fight, to gain an unfair advantage coming into the fight, to gain victory over Badou Jack, and we were suspected of this in the first fight, but again, we can't accuse him of that, but we suspected of that, but we know 1,000% sure that what he done. We know 1,000, and I'm gonna be the first to tell Boxing Social, and just today, I found a different result, that he tested positive for EPO. Yes. And the only way you do that is by injection. Okay? And again, it just goes to show you. It's just very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate.
Leonard, it's become a problem in the sport, but I know that I don't want to keep too much of your time, and you got a busy man, you got stuff to do. But I appreciate your time as always. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Leonard.